It's official, guys. I don't just love SmackDown Live. I think I am in love with SmackDown Live. No exaggeration. What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz, Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, here with the September 13th edition of your reward for sitting through Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live. What's going on, everybody? I'm gonna try and slow down because I talk fast and I got a lot of shit to go through normally on a review, but I really want to sit down. I really want to enjoy this review because holy Christ, guys, with every week that passes, I genuinely want to come to you guys with my hand on my heart and say, if you are a Raw guy or a Raw girl, I genuinely want you to try to put an argument down in the box below. Pull an argument out of your ass. I don't care how dirty it is for why you would even think about the words crossing your lips that Monday Night Raw is better than SmackDown Live. We just got through the first SmackDown pay-per-view. Raw pay-per-view, Clash of Champions are the cock, as I'm going to be calling it, until it stops sucking the cock. I know people don't like that. They mentioned it in the comment section. But appropriate is appropriate. Already, No Mercy is kicking the shit out of the cock. And when you're shitting out of your cock, that just shows how bad Monday Night Raw is, doesn't it? We started off with the kickoff. We went over Becky Lynch's win at Backlash, and we announced that the remaining 5 women from that 6-pack challenge are going to have a fatal 5-way, one fall to a finish #1 contenders match. Tonight, we went over Slater and Rhino winning the SmackDown Tag Team Championships, and we reminded everybody that Heath Slater has to finally sign his SmackDown Live contract. Tonight we discussed the Kane Wyatt thing from Sunday, which, yes, I will admit, Kane versus Bray Wyatt was shit, but silver lining on that gray cloud, we did continue the Randy Orton storyline, so that's a thing. Hype Bros versus the Usos rematch is announced for tonight. I'm going to get to the Usos in a second. And The Miz and AJ Styles both had their respective title retention / wins at Backlash, so that was discussed as well. The show starts off appropriately enough with our new champion, you know, as the announcer says, he now wants to be introduced as the face that runs the place, the new WWE World Champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles, who comes out. He's still doing the Cena stuff. The champ is here. He brags about winning on Sunday. And then there was a whole lot of I told you so. I said I was going to beat Cena. And I did it twice. And I'm the face that runs the place. And I got this trophy. He's still got the fucking John Cena armband on. I told you I was going to beat Ambrose. Now I'm your world champion. If I tell you something is true, if AJ Styles tells you something is true, you can take it as gospel. And then he goes into a bunch of, like, if I tell you you're going to win the lottery, you can go ahead and buy that ticket. He's not only the face that runs the place, he's the champ that runs this camp, which is not nearly as catchy a pickup line, I will admit. But AJ Styles believes it. You know, it's like any actor will tell you, you don't have to believe what your character says, you just have to believe that your character believes it. And AJ Styles fucking believes it. On a side note, somebody put something up on Facebook the other day. If I can find it, I'll retweet it. It's AJ Styles from TNA and AJ Styles now, and it says, hey, not only does AJ Styles look like a troubled teen back then, he looks like that troubled teen's mom now, which I think is funny. Cena comes out, and everybody else groans on Facebook, or on Twitter and everything else, but I had a good feeling about it. I really did, and, you know, people say I'm sucking SmackDown's cock, which is not the case. The cock is over on Raw, and I'm not sucking that either. Let's just be real. Cena comes out, he says, you know, with his super serious Cena face fucking G.I. Joe bullshit, you have something that belongs to me. AJ Styles whips off the armband and tosses it back at him. He says, cool, I don't need that trophy anymore. He says, no, you still have something that belongs to me. It's about time I got that world title back. To be the man, you gotta beat the man, starts quoting Ric Flair. I've only got one thing left in my career, and that's to pick up that magical number 16, and it would be really great to achieve that at your expense. Ambrose comes out all pissed off about Sunday, looking like he hasn't shaved since Sunday, which is kind of funny. Losing is one thing. I've lost a million matches a million times. I've lost a million titles a million times. But you stole from me. You made an enemy out of me, and I'm going to bury you. again, the irony isn't lost when somebody's using the word Barry and John Cena's standing right behind them. John Cena, though, I do have to give John Cena. John Cena called Dean Ambrose on his bullshit. It's like, look, this is the guy you hung up by his nuts on the ring rope the other week, and now you're mad that you lost to a low blow. Austin was right to call you out on his podcast. You do need to show us something, and I don't know why that low blow hurt, because you've proven that you got no balls. And I'm sorry. You know, you get hostile crowds like New York, like Barclays, like up here in Toronto, where I'm going to be going to Survivor Series and NXT TakeOver Toronto, and they were in Philadelphia tonight. Philadelphia, the ECW hub, the type of fans that used to drop down those drapes that said, if Cena wins, we riot. We had a Cena chant, loud and proud, in Philly tonight. So they were doing something right. Ambrose says, I don't give a damn what you think. I've got no patience for your crap. You're a part-timer. You're better off doing the other shit that WWE uses you for, like the talk shows and the red carpets and the charity and all that crap. WWE uses you because you can't keep up with us in the ring anymore. Looks over to AJ Styles, says, this chump beat you at SummerSlam, and I will never back down from a lazy Hollywood wannabe. Shane comes out, congratulates Cena and AJ a little late for the blockbuster match they had at SummerSlam. AJ Styles beat John Cena clean, and that's a really, really impressive accomplishment to behold. AJ took the cheap route, however, this past Sunday to become the WWE Champion, but you are the WWE World Champion, so congratulations for that. He then announces that AJ will defend at No Mercy in a triple threat match against Cena and Ambrose, and tonight there's going to be a tag team match. Ambrose and Cena, who have just been fighting, you know, building the tension, rah-de-rah-de-rah, versus Styles and whoever he can find as a partner. And then there's a whole, like, the commentators and Shane, etc. You know, AJ Styles is going to find out that it's lonely at the top, all those cliches. But they work in this scenario. Other than the club, who has AJ made partners with other than Jericho, who's already over there on Raw and already on the fight card for the cock? Moving on. Hype Bros versus the Usos. And I will say, Usos, from last week to Backlash to tonight, vicious, you know, a little bit more primal. They've changed the look. They've gotten rid of the paint. They've gotten rid of the board shorts. They came out in the black with a little bit of white at the pay-per-view. Tonight they came out in white and red. Doesn't look as good, doesn't look as menacing as it did on the pay-per-view, so that's a little tiny nitpick. But, you know, they're more cerebral. They're picking apart. They're picking a spot. They did to the Hype Bros what they did to American Alpha last week on SmackDown. That drop kick to the back of the knee, and then the I think somebody mentioned it was the Tequila Sunrise, that arm lock and single crab that they used at the pay-per-view. And tonight they didn't really even need to do that. Ryder came in with the bandaged up leg, and they just worked on it. Ryder and Jay start off the match. Jay works on the leg. Jimmy works on the leg as he tags in. They double team his leg some more, and double team kick him in the face. Single leg by Jay, boot by Ryder, shoulder tackles by Mojo, which is really all he does in the match. Corner splashes, a trip on the apron by Jay, and a super kick by Jimmy, and a Samoan splash gets the quick win for the revamped the revamped, more intense heel Usos, who are, I mean, this is one of those things where I don't mind predictability. Heath Slater and Rhino got the belts. They're going to go to the Usos. They're going to go to American Alpha when American Alpha comes back. We can already see that linear progression, but I'm looking forward to each part in that linear progression. So it's one of those things where being predictable doesn't exactly hurt my feelings. Miz comes out, and this is, you really want to be the Miz sometimes. You just do. He comes out, nice suit, Intercontinental title on one arm, fucking hot-ass wife on the other arm, comes out, says Daniel and Ziggler and all the fans have been calling... Excuse me. Sorry, guys. Says that Daniel and Ziggler and the fans have been calling me a coward for weeks. I'm still the IC champ. This is day 162. And by the way, I've got a hot wife. I've had more days as Intercontinental Champion than 132 other Intercontinental Champions, including Dolph Ziggler. Ziggler comes out, says, you know, you're out here trying to sell yourself as the champ. You're really trying to convince yourself. Any superstar in the back that sees you, they laugh at you, and you know why. The fans will never see you as a top guy, and you know why. They know the bullshit you do to retain your title. with the little hairspray gimmick that Maurice did at the pay-per-view, which is fine. Miz has probably the line of the night. If I lived and died by the fans' respect, I'd already be 6 feet under. Just like your career. Fucking yes. Ziggler says, yeah, I'm in a slump while you're killing it, but you're killing it with an asterisk next to your name. If you ever want to earn some respect, give me a match one more time with no excuses, no gimmicks, no wives, just you and me in the ring. What do you say? He denies, rah-de-rah-de-rah. Brian comes out. Brian talks to Maurice, says Maurice is the only reason that Miz is still the champion. Ziggler will be getting a rematch. I'm assuming that's going to be at No Mercy, which I'm okay with. They didn't confirm that, but, you know, so it's one of those, either they're announcing it for the next pay-per-view, or they're announcing it for next week. We got another 3 weeks to build up to No Mercy, so that's all good. Miz says he's not going to do it, says he's leaving, he's not going to defend the Intercontinental Championship until he gets to renegotiate his contract. I'm the champion, I'm the one in the position of power, you can't do this to me, I won't defend, fuck off. And leaves through the crowd. Styles is in the back trying to convince Baron Corbin to be his tag team partner tonight, and that goes about as well as you can expect. Corbin versus Cruz rematch from Backlash, from the Backlash kickoff. It was a pretty average match on the kickoff, I'm not going to lie. It's nothing to write home about. It really is a case of here's two guys that we know are good, but we don't have anything to do, so we're throwing them together for the time being. It hasn't gotten stale yet. You're not into Darren Young, Titus O'Neil, or Sheamus, Cesaro territory with these two yet. They do need to find something for these guys to do quickly, and we're going to get to that in a second. Before the match even starts, you know, Apollo Crews is up there on the turnbuckle doing his pose gimmick thing there, and Corbin jumps him, pulls him down off the turnbuckle, he takes a little bit of a spill, end of days on the floor, and that's about it for Mr. Apollo Crews. But that's not it for Baron Corbin, because we hear some very familiar music that we heard just last night on Monday Night Rawful, and it is indeed Jack Swagger. Jack Swagger apparently joining SmackDown, comes down, confronts Baron Corbin, and Corbin bails. Grabs a microphone, says at 12:01 today I signed my SmackDown contract. Yeah, they announced yesterday on Rawful that you know, his contract was up soon. They drafted him 2 months before the end of his contract. That's the storyline that really makes sense on Raw. But here on SmackDown, 12:01 today, I signed my contract. SmackDown is my new home. I'm a Division I champion. I've done this and that and this and that athletically. And by the way, I guess this was a nod to The Miz in his previous promo, but he's like, I've also got a smoking hot wife. Forget everything you knew about Jack Swagger. You know, I'm here to be a problem for everybody on the roster. Now, people on Twitter, my friends on Twitter, let me talk to you for a second. I would agree with you. Why the hell do we suddenly give a shit about Jack Swagger? Because he hasn't done anything in forever and ever and ever. But this is SmackDown Live. This is the Blue brand. This is Team Blue that just successfully revived Heath Slater. And as far as a wrestler's toolbox, Jack Swagger, I will say, as an athlete, as an in-ring performer, has more in his toolbox than Heath Slater. So am I hesitant when I say this? Yes. But if they're going to revamp and put a proper push behind Jack Swagger could be beast on SmackDown. Could I be wrong? Yes. But right now, I'm 100% on board for this. You got a big guy like Jack Swagger, and his first feud is going to be against another big guy like Baron Corbin. You've got Baron Corbin, who they're trying to put over as this big bad destruction machine. You got another guy that can match him in size with the technical ability of a Jack Swagger. It's gonna do good things for Baron Corbin down the line. And I really hope that Jack Swagger gets some rub out of the situation as well. Next out, we have Becky Lynch, who does a quick post-Backlash promo about, you know, winning the title. I've never held a women's championship before, especially here in the WWE, which is true, because she never was the NXT champion, and I have to question the bookers on NXT. I know that's against the rules, but I think NXT missed the boat on this one with Becky Lynch for sure. And then they missed the boat with her again when they brought all of them up to Raw for the Divas Revolution that became the Women's Evolution, that really, she got left in the dust of people like Charlotte, which is just unfortunate. The whole way through the promo, you can only hear about half of it. She does do the cliche, because she calls herself Becky Balboa a lot of the times. You know, it's ironic that I get, you know, being Becky Balboa, I get to make my first big speech like this in Philadelphia. gigantic you deserve it chance. She stays on commentary. She stays ringside for the Fatal 5-Way. Naomi versus Nikki versus Natty versus Bliss versus Carmella. And I have to send a huge shout out to Elena Nic0le, who basically, it was very, very hard for me to take notes on this match because she and I were blowing up Twitter for one girl in this match, and one girl alone, and we will get to that in a moment. But seriously, check out Elena Nic0le. Her link's down in the description box below. Very, 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 very good YouTuber that has a lot of subs. Could use a lot more. Go over there, tell her Spaz sent you. She's going to be taking over the post-Raw rundown from OKayfabe in, I believe, 3 weeks. Could be wrong, but, you know, go subscribe in advance so that you're all set to go when she takes over the show. Elena's Raw after party, I think, is the deal. But anyways, we were blowing up Twitter before and after this match because Nikki and Carmella brawl, Natty and Bliss double team Naomi, which just makes me laugh. Clothesline by Natty to Carmella, suplexes for everybody, facebuster by Nikki, facebuster by Nikki and a clothesline off the steps. She kind of does like the running, you guys know I'm a Hardy Boys fan, the poetry in motion. She does a poetry in motion clothesline off the steps. It's not as nice as the Hardys did, I will admit. But it's Nikki, and she's got a bad fucking neck, so I'm going to cut her a bit of slack. Naomi flops around in the ring, and the announcers call it a pin attempt. Oh, yes. Electric chair drop to Naomi by Nikki makes me smile. Corner spears and a drop kick by Natty. Bella Buster by Nikki. Naomi throws her ass at Nikki Bella. And yeah, that's about it, because then she eats the steps, and then she eats the guardrail, and then Nikki Bella has Alexa Bliss up for the TKO, but no. Super kick by Carmella, but Bliss tosses Carmella out of the ring, takes advantage of the super kick, gets the pin, and Alexa fucking Bliss is your #1 contender for the SmackDown Women's Championship. Anybody that has been watching this channel for a long time knows that as soon as we had the draft, as soon as Alexa Bliss was brought up from NXT to SmackDown Live, and I knew that Becky was their #1 draft pick, I said, please give me a feud between Alexa Bliss and Becky Lynch. Fuck Natty. Fuck Naomi, because God knows I'm not going to. Have Carmella and Nikki Bella go do their thing. It's already started. That's cool. You can have two Divas feuds at once. We're going to bring back all black everything in a couple of weeks. I don't really care whether Eva Marie's hair is red or black, because hashtag all hair matters. Oh, yes. But it was great. Great shared moment between myself, Elena Nic0le, and my buddy Guapo, who was pretty quiet on Twitter tonight, but I'm pretty sure he's happy his bae is the #1 contender. And yes, I sound awkward as fuck using the word bae. Intentional. Styles tries to get Kane as his partner for the main event tonight with predictable results. Slater's contract signing. Slater comes out with Shane and Rhino. He gets congratulated. Slater signs the contract. He thanks Shane. He thanks Brian. He thanks Beulah. He thanks his partner Rhino. He gets all excited. He says, we'll take on anybody. And then he starts naming off all his kids. And the Ascension come out. Oh, yes. And I don't watch TNA anymore, but I have seen pictures that people post on Facebook, and Ascension came out, and they're dressed like the Ascension, but they got face painted like Decay, do they not? They make a challenge for the titles tonight. Shane McMahon says, hey, tonight's as good a night as any for the first SmackDown Tag Team Championship defense. Ascension versus Slater and Rhino goes about as well for the Ascension as you would assume. Headlock by Victor, corner spear, and a splash by Connor. They toss out Rhino. A sloppy double team by the Ascension. Not quite sure what they were trying to be going for there. Connor eats the post shoulder first. Shoulder tackles by Rhino. Spinebuster by Rhino. Sleeper by Slater. And a gore gets the win for our new SmackDown Tag Team Champions, Slater and Rhino. Brian, in the back, confronts AJ Styles, where he says, you know, I know you don't care about a partner. I know you haven't had any luck finding a partner. I found you a partner. And they pull out the fucking jobber. That, the very first jobber, the guy that looks like he's a little bit special, if you know what I mean. The very first jobber that Braun Strowman destroyed after being drafted to Raw. So that's going to be AJ Styles' type. And they put him on the fucking graphic. I mean, come on now. We get a promo for the Cruiserweight Classic. I mentioned to you guys last night on the Raw review, I will not be able to review that. Unfortunately, I will be giving you my thoughts on the Cruiserweight Classic finale next week in the Raw review, because there will be something good to talk about on Raw. And then hopefully NXT reviews will be going back to normal next week for anybody that didn't watch my Raw review. And quite frankly, it's talking about Raw, so I wouldn't blame you if you didn't. Orton comes out. Says that all Bray Wyatt does is talk. You are the face of fear because you're the one that's afraid. That's why you attacked me. You know, there's been a long list of people that have attacked me. You won't be the first and you won't be the last. I'm here for a fight right now if you've got the balls to come out. Wyatt shows up on screen and does a typical Wyatt promo. Some of the points of this are, you would have been a wise man to stay down, man. You would have been a wise man to realize that this world is cruel. I tried to give you a gift and save you the embarrassment, but instead you embarrassed me. I can't stop this now. Fire and bullets can't stop this now. Orton, I suggest you don't sleep. Jump scare. Wyatt's at ringside. Rowan attacks with a new multicolored sheep mask because SmackDown are infinitely generous and keep giving Eric Rowan a chance to be relevant, but he eats an RKO in short order. Cena and Ambrose versus Styles and the Jobber is not your main event, because who comes out to save the fucking day? Who comes out to save the fucking main event? Who takes out the trash? But our very frustrated, very underwhelmed, very underrated Intercontinental Champion, The Miz, beats the fuck out of the Jobber, skull-crushing finale on the stage. The look on AJ Styles' face is fucking priceless. And we got Cena and Ambrose versus Team Champs as fuck, as I said on Twitter. Miz and Cena trade punches, Ushigoroshi by Styles, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, DDT by The Miz and a choke on the ropes and a Pele by Styles, perched corner clothesline by The Miz, clotheslines by Ambrose, and a backbreaker. Standing elbow by Ambrose and a mudhole stomp. Miz eats guardrail on the outside, and there's a Pele by Styles as we go to commercial break. Coming back from the commercial break, we got a clothesline by Ambrose, a forearm by Styles, and a choke by The Miz. Chops by Styles, chops by Ambrose, and some more chops by Styles. Styles rides a face lock and headbutts by Ambrose. Five-knuckle shuffle by Cena and a suicide dive by Ambrose. Attitude adjustment on the Intercontinental Champion, which kind of sucks, does get the win for the face team. But are they the face team? Because John Cena, celebrating his return to SmackDown, celebrating his first match since SummerSlam, gets down from his perch just in time to get a boot and a dirty deeds by Dean fucking Ambrose. No better way to end this show. No better way to end this show. Now, in one night, coming off of their last pay-per-view, going towards their next pay-per-view, what did we have tonight? And as I say, keep score. Tell me how Raw competes with this at all. In a 2-hour show, we had the first tag team title defense. We kept the Usos strong in their heel turn. We had a great 5-women match. We had the introduction of the women's champion. We've set up our next women's title match, Alexa Bliss versus Becky Lynch, which later confirmed on Talking Smack will take place at No Mercy. We've got the potential reboot of Jack Swagger, which is tentative, but it has potential. We sort of recovered from the fuck-up that they did at Backlash with the Orton Wyatt story. We're going to keep going with that. We're keeping The Miz strong. Your Intercontinental Champion was in a tag team main event tonight on SmackDown with the 3 guys that are fighting for the world title at the next pay-per-view. If that doesn't elevate the Intercontinental Championship, I don't know what does. And ultimately, we set the No Mercy main event, which is the triple threat, Ambrose versus Cena versus Styles, and we had the turn of Ambrose. And Cena was good enough to get a Cena chant in Philly. What I will say, I'm not going to get into the details here. Check out the interview on Talking Smack with Daniel Bryan and Alexa Bliss talking about her upcoming title shot at No Mercy. You will not be disappointed. This fucking show, guys. Tell me why I should watch Raw. Tell me why I should watch Raw. You can try to come up with some bullshit as to why I should watch Raw. I mean, I'm going to, because I will drag that shit through the mud, because I know my reward is right here. My reward is on Team Blue. My reward is on SmackDown Live. And if you don't agree with me, that's okay. I'm Spaz. You're not. Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation. Keep all these conversations going. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later. But for right now, I am tagging the fuck out. fuck Raw. Oh yes.
So shut up, you're a freak like me.